Beep 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 beep. Hello, hello. The question is it streaming? Is that it? Well, I think that's working. Can never tell with YouTube. Okay, it appears to be working. So today, what I intend to try and do is use Bevy to make like a small application that you can like put in your date of birth, and then it'll generate one of those articulated dragons that you see online that have been like 3D printed, and it's going to use your birthstone as like the base of the dragon. And then I wanted it to do things like randomly like pick the next segment and randomly move like little bits and pieces of the dragon. Like, you know, if for example, if we got a garnet, because you know that's January, and also like one that's really easy to demonstrate it with. So we got images of garnet, and we find like the uncut raw garnet rock. Like, it's got this very distinctive shape, and there's a mathematical shape that is like all true gemstones have like a geometric shape that their crystal takes. It's, you know, quite distinctly their crystal shape. And so I was going to use their crystal shape as part of the dragon. So whether it's a segment or just little crystals of that growing out of it, and then randomly, like with a bit of noise, shuffle around maybe the rotation or the position of each of these vertexes to make each dragon unique, and have it based, like the seed for the random number generator be based on the date of birth, so that you can have like a custom dragon. So far I've got the Bevy editor and Bevy set up. I don't think I set the editor up, which I was supposed to do before the stream, just so that it doesn't take forever. Editor plugin. And underscore plugin editor plugin. Alright, run. So I don't know, just because it's interesting, I want to kind of use ChatGPT just to generate a lot of this stuff. It makes things a lot easier in terms of like, you know, not having to try and look up them. And it's obviously wrong because I've asked it before, like, and it's given me the right, you know, like if I said, what is the shape of garnet, it should say like a dual something or other. The crystal shape of garnet is, no, that's not correct. That's, unless I'm like fucking going crazy. It had it right the other day. Shape of garnet. It's this shape. Like, and it was right the other day. I just don't remember what this shape's called. What is this shape? Dual decrical crystal shape. Okay. Rust function. Mesh with okay. Golden ratio. Okay, dodecahedron. What was the other shape? It's like a tridecahedron. Okay. Yeah, I don't really need you to print all that stuff out. Alright, so let's go here and go then make. Yeah, it comes to better. Yep. How have I got you configured? Cool. Alright. So we're gonna go make underscore mesh, which is going to I guess return a mesh. Let me go back to ChatGPT. So we'll grab all this information and then we'll paste it here, but we'll work on it. So I don't know why it's going to have such a fit. Failed. Let's just check our camera. Transform. Camera is okay. Cool. What was it doing? So mesh equals mesh. Is it new? What? Why can't I make a new one? Simple mesh. Yeah, new. Do we need topology? I don't know what the fuck's going on with my Rust analyzer here. Okay, now you work. We want a triangle list. And then we want to say vertices, which is just going to be. So we go down here and we go remove this, go and remove these. Okay, so you're a vector of that, and then faces. And instead of the faces, I think what we need is something like. Huh? Why did that not work? We need all of those. Need to go to the end. Get it. Okay. And then we should be able to go something like mesh dot. Why do you say that method doesn't exist? It quite clearly does. What is going on? Like, it's all compiled. I don't know why it's not working. Anyway, mesh, oh my god. It's gonna make it really hard to make this program if it's not gonna work with the ID. Insert attribute. And then we want mesh. What have I, like, have I broken something? No, it's just default bevy, like there's mesh, and then we gotta go. And what's even weirder is it detects the mesh, right? And I'm using the whole prelude. It's not like excluding something. Position. So we want to go mesh attribute position, and then we want to say vertices. No, not vertices. Well, yes, vertices. And then we want to say mesh dot attribute insert attribute set indices. Set indices sum in indices. I think it's U32, and then we want to say faces. And then we want to return mesh. Okay. 32. Why is my IntelliSense just not working? Okay, I'm going to say commands.spawn PBR bundle. Then your mesh will be, and we're going to need access to meshes. Mute assets mesh. Okay. Meshes dot add make mesh dot default. Okay. I don't know why my fucking Rust analyzer is not working. Well, we have a dodecahedron. I think for the mesh we need I want to say like mesh dot insert attribute mesh we want normals, and then we want to say that this is equal to a vec that is 0.0 1.0 0.0 comma, and then we want to say vertices dot len. Move it here. Okay, so that. What if I try restarting my thing? It always does my head in when shit doesn't work. I also like that ChatGPT just nailed that the first time. Try code, try relaunching file, open folder, Rust stuff, projects, Dragon generator. Need to work now? You gonna work? Please just work. Come on, come on, come on, come on. You got this. You got this. It all just takes so long. Let's just click update. That Visual Studio Code update. Back to Dragon Generator. Yeah, I don't care about the release notes. Oh, it changed my default theme. Made everything go out of sync. That's weird. No. Anyway, let's continue working. So we have our normals. We should probably, generate a material or something. So why don't we go? Strict. So it's done, it just doesn't work. Why does it not work? From world dot resource mute assets default no standard material let mats equal mats dot get no add so standard material base color is just going to be color white, I guess. Default. Oh, well, we did that. Alright. We want to go here, we like unit resource. And yet resource. The default mat. Bring them down here. I'm going to say mat is res default mat. Then we're going to come up here. We have import default mat get, which takes himself and returns a handle to a standard material. This just goes self.0.clone. Okay. So we need to derive a resource on you. Alright. So with that we have get. Get is never used. Yes, yes, yes. We come down here and we say material is mat.get. material. Okay, so with that, we now it should be white. Then we want to be like Newton. Well, it's like a darkish grey. It's not flat lit though. Let's ask ChatGPT. The 10 vertex, tangent, face, edge one, okay, so it wants us to calculate the edges. Actually, no, I don't think it'll work because yeah, no, it's because it's anyway, we're gonna move cam, so you can take an input res input key code. Okay. Oh, we'll say for key and input dot get pressed. Right. Key. Okay. Let delta open. Delta is going to be a vec 3 maybe? No, we would need struct cam data rot, which is going to be f32, and a pitch, which is going to be f32, and then we're going to need a query mute transform with camera data. Cam data. Alright, so we're going to need p data delta, which is just going to be an f32, and let r data delta equals 0, not f32. Okay, so if the key code is a, we want r minus equals 1. Key code D plus equals 1. Key code S P minus equals 1, and key code W P plus equals 1. Okay. Oh, right. Okay, make those two mutable, and yeah, you need to be a component. Derive component. Alright. And then underscore. Do literally nothing. Okay. For data in query data dot rot plus equals rot delta time const rot speed const pitch speed. Okay, rotation pitch speed, and then F32 and you equal 0.01, and you do an F32 that equals 0.1, like so, and then you turn by rotation speed, and then data dot pitch plus equals p delta times pitch speed. Okay, and we say data dot pitch equals data dot pitch dot clamp between 0 and 90 F32 dot 2 radian. Okay, so rotate that. Can't remember how to rotate around there. I think it's like let x equal the sign well, data dot rot dot sign plus data dot rot dot cos, and then let z equal data dot rot dot sign minus data dot rot dot cos, and then we say cam dot translation dot x equals data dot that just equals x, and cam y z equals z, and then we'll work out the y later. So that gives me my x and my y, and hopefully that means that as I press the arrow keys, so we need to add our system to our run. Move cam. Okay, so if I press, well, maybe we'll make this like that one as well. So key code left, or key code right, or key code down, or key code up. Okay. I say run now. We should end up with a camera that pressing the arrow keys will rotate us around. I cannot tell because it is probably moving far too slowly. No, it's just clearly not moving at all. Oh, because we didn't put camera data on the camera. That would. Yes. When we spawn the camera. Give it camera data. Default. Alright, we need to go here. We need to say let's import default for cam data and default and just return cam data. Okay, so we want the rotation to be 0 and the pitch to be 45.0 f32.2 radians. Okay, default. Okay. So as soon as it works, we're probably going to zoom really close in. Immediately we're going to zoom really close in. Alright, well let's just test this for one thing. Are we spinning around it? We appear to be spinning around it. Okay, and then the final thing to do is to always be looking at 0, 0. Cam dot look at, which takes me to a reference. It's going to be target, it's going to be vec 3, 0, and up is going to be vec 3, y. Takes me reference to itself. Okay. Let's try that. So this means that when we look at a object, hey, okay, we spin around it now. I do think we need to probably multiply x and y by a little bit, you know, like something like times. Why don't we just go like in here? We are going to give you a zoom. Zoom, which is going to be an f32. Okay, and zoom is going to be maybe 2. Okay, and then your x times data dot zoom, and your y zoom data dot zoom. Okay, then we need to go zoom, I guess, would be res. I think it's no, it's event reader scroll. Mouse wheel. This event is okay. Mouse wheel. Yeah. Okay. So let mute and z delta equal zoom dot theater dot map e dot x dot count consumes the iterator counting the number of iterators. No. Sum. Yes, sum. Wait, you don't need to be mutable. But you do need zoom. Type annotation is it is an F32. F32 if I remember. Yeah. Okay. Can we do? Including options and results. Interesting. Wait, so some okay, so we have our z delta. Okay, so then I'm going to say that your data dot zoom plus equals zoom. No, not zoom, delta zoom. Z delta. Okay, so you gain the z delta. I think means I could get rid of tab annotation, but why bother? Okay, so that should translate to, if I scroll, I zoom in and out. Apparently not. Is it? No, it must be Y. Let's try that then. Alright, so interesting. Okay, well, I mean, it works. We do need to like data dot zoom dot clamp between, like, let's say like 1 and like maybe 10. Alright, so clamp the zoom. Okay, so to get to Y, would we just let Y equal dot pitch dot sign plus data dot pitch dot cols? Cam dot translation dot y equals y times data dot zoom. See if this works. Okay. Outside of us being very close. I feel like that's not doing what it's supposed to do. Kind of, but not really. We want like, no, do we just want like the sign? Don't we? We just want the sign. because just the sign would mean that as my y increases, I get closer to 0 y. So maybe the cos instead, but okay, well that seems to be working. Wow, outside of zooming, go to 0, but we can go up, we can go down, and we can spin it around. Okay, I mean, maybe up the speed. I think I want to, just because it's 2 times the function, we want to go here, and we want to say, maybe you get 2.5, but you get 5. Because we want the pitch up and down to be like twice, because it's only going through 1 trig function. And a single trig function would mean that it should have like half the impact. Not sure if that's at all how it works, but I did, just from like pressing up and down, it feels like it goes up and down half the speed as it goes around and around. Maybe that's just a human being thing. Okay. Gonna quickly go like flat lit shader. Shading making it impossible to see the geometry. I don't want to just go pull the boring ass shader I made for my hex game, but I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. The main reason I don't want to pull this is because it just means pulling like a whole bunch of other shit. Paste. No, we new hold in here. Assets, shaders. Yes, move the shaders here. Go back to here. There you go. Somewhere we are looking at hex plugin, game, shaders. We want the scripts shader. Then we go back to here and we go to scripts. Paste. Okay, so we want to go mod shader. Don't want the hex plugin. Because I got a test written in here. No, I don't need any test stuff. Well, we probably should just comment this out just while I read it. Okay, and then add system test. Okay, we don't need the test. We add plugin. We add custom material. Okay, custom material mesh. I believe all I do is say material mesh bundle. It definitely looks that way. Yep. Alright, we're gonna go down here and go, what the fuck are you bitching about? Unresolved stents. Okay, so I need to bring in something inside of your toml. But we probably go to your shader and go, what crate are these coming from? Game shader, no, it's obviously not those two. Standard material. Excuse me? How are you bitching? Failed to resolve use of material, use of undeclared. Because obviously they're declared somewhere using bit flags. Okay, I guess that's the crate. we need bit flags. Whatever version, I don't care. That should theoretically fix all these problems. Fuck off. Okay. Okay, so we want to change you from a standard material to a shader custom material, and you would also be add material, custom material. Okay. Right, you also. So then we're down here, and we say instead of this, you are a mesh material bundle. Okay. We want to go like add underscore plugin shader. So it's in shader here. We want to go material plugin custom, anyway, so shader custom material. And when we run this, so restart this, run this, come on, run. Ba-da-da-da-da. Oh, it panicked. Why did it panic? Probably because we want to do something like that. Gotta always add the resources before you run. Okay. Well. You see, I feel like now I need to be all like resources. Isn't it an ambient light? Yeah. Yeah. See, the problem is the ambient light seems to be lighting from a angle that's not directly the camera, which makes sense. That's what the ambient light's supposed to do. But that means we're probably going to have to go to our camera and tack on like a directional light. I mean, why don't we just do something like dot with children p dot spawn directional light bundle. We'll probably just go like default, because I would assume that a directional light by default would point straight ahead. If not, we will use the editor to correct and point it at the direction we want to actually point it. So, you know, either way. Okay, so inside of you, there's a directional light. The camera is always pointing at you. Okay, cool. So we want to go to your directional light. Shadows enabled. Shadow depth. No. Why can I not see you at all? Transform. Wait, we don't want a directional light. We want a spotlight, don't we? Is it just what it's called? It's just spotlight? Spotlight bundle. Let's try that. So, I think the directional light wasn't working partly because it's with the camera, but it's just more that it, you know, it's a directional light. Interesting. Why do I not have spotlight? Range of 20, radius, shadows enabled. Wait, you don't even use the lights, do you? I think I commented all that code out, didn't I? It's the editor Bevy editor please crate. It's I think built by the same guy that makes the inspector EGUI, but it's just like a editor tacked on top using that. So if it works in the inspector EGUI, it will work like it'll appear in here like everything else. I think also if it just inherits reflect and is registered, it'll also work. Like it didn't used to, but he added that recently, that like it's almost entirely built on reflect more than it is on the inspector. I still haven't quite worked out where my light's gone. So back into the shader. No, assets. Is it this one? If we scroll right down here and look at it, goes, we load the fragment shader PBR. Yes. Okay. So we just use this one, and at some point in here, I just set the normals, right? Like I don't even. Normal. Play one. World normal. Right. At some point, world normal. Yeah, normalize. I think this is what I did. Is I just calculated the world normal to be the normalized cross dot dot dot. And the primary being that this is how you calculate a tangential vector from the surface. So basically you work out what way the face, like the face is pointing, and then you just work out the tangent to that. And that's how you get flat. But for some reason it's still like, but it still uses lights, right? Like using lights. There's some kind of buffer in here somewhere of lights, but I don't think I've commented any of this out. Maybe unlit. Okay, standard material unlit bit. Okay, equals 0. Base color output touch emission annual hit material emission roughness. Somewhere in here there's some kind of calculation. What's the problem? What's throwing me even more is like it's got this. Like what if we give you, I can't click it anymore. That's another thing I don't like about it. When he changed the editor, he made it that you can only like drag some of them, whereas you used to be able to enter a value, and it just annoys me. Inner angle. Is it potentially pointing the wrong way? We have to reset it for that, because otherwise there's a good chance that some of the values I've changed won't work anymore. I feel like I need to set it like 90 degrees or something. Transform. So what is that? It's not along that axis. See, this is why not being able to just type in 0 sucks. It's not in that axis. And it's not in that axis. Why? Where is my spotlight? That's what I don't get. Okay, what if I just change it to a point light attached to the camera? Surely a point light will work. Just trying to get it to light one side, because in theory that'll, I guess, point things out more. Where is the light? Point light. Range of 20. Well, it'd also help if I made the color something different. We also need to be like color material. Color material? Standard material? Why do both of those have something? Images? Wait, what are all these images? They're just like fucking... Huh. Oh. Well, that's like, isn't it white? I made the color white, didn't I? Yeah. Which means, for one thing, it's not getting lit by any light that I'm spawning. Okay. Let's go back to... let's go like type... let's go dragon map, and it's going to equal a standard material. Dragon map. Alright, so then we can go like this, we can go like this, and we can go... no, we want to replace... I'm going to go here, I'm going to go F, I'm going to replace that with that, not the first time, but like all the other times. Oh, no, it is all those times. Except it's not you, we want this to stay shader. Custom material. Okay, so if I run that, that's just going to reset back to PBR. The hope being that the PBR will show up with the light. Why is it not showing up with the light? Ooh. Okay. How does that work? How does that work? Wireframe configuration. Global. So that must be a component that you add. Mesh, standard material. Fog enabled, unlit. Double-sided. Flip normals. Why? Dead. Big. Yep. I don't know why the light's not working. But what was that? That's the wireframe config. Maybe just be like dot insert resource wire config global true. We should probably hit run on that before I go digging into code. Whether to show the wireframe on all meshes. If false, only meshes with the wireframe component will be rendered. Okay. Well, having just that outline really just, you know, helps. It's interesting. Sort of mesh pipeline shader handle. interesting. Well, I made a dice. Not exactly what I wanted, but... One thing to do would be to like have the dragon structure and then like randomly generate the other pieces. Like one of the things like I was looking at was just like you can seed it, so it's like it'll generate one of these crystals like sort of not necessarily uniformly but like across the surface. So that would be one approach, would be to make like a very noodly dragon, like, you know, just quite flat arc, and then generate these all over its back. How to describe that mathematically really easy. The other thing is I don't really have the dragon, like, you know, so you want to go like struct dragon, and it would then have like a vec, oh no, segments, which is just going to be a vector of segment. I'm going to have like a head, which is going to be a head type, and then so then you'd have like an enum head type, and so you'd have like maybe normal, long. I don't know what other types you'd have. So maybe just like normal and long, and then you'd have like enum segment. So segment, well actually no, segment would probably be a struct, and then you'd have like enum segment type. Right, like that. And so this would be like body, leg. Would you have an individual leg? Like, I'm thinking more like it's not going to have like a leg segment. It would be like a body segment that connects to a body segment and a leg segment. Maybe visual aid would help because I've got one over here. So bring this in. So like I'm saying, like these would be bodies because they just connect to other bodies, and then these would be legs, even though that, like, it's not the actual leg itself that's the segment, but it's the segment that has legs, and then you'd have a tail segment, which is just the segment that ends. If that helps for anyone watching. I mean, why wouldn't you make the head its own segment? I mean, like, yeah, like so, and then you would just be like, a dragon is just a list of segments, and then so you'd say a segment wins a type, which is just going to be segment type, and then the segment would need an offset. well, I guess a transform. Transform, which is just going to be a regular Bevy transform. So segment type and then a transform. Segment type transform. Segment type transform. Which, because the transform contains the scale and rotation, we don't really need anything else. Maybe the mesh. But the mesh would be more of a rendering. I guess, though. You'd go mesh, which would be like a handle, I guess. So you would also need a seed, which is going to be a well, no, the seed would be a U64, and then dragon type would be your type. Well, no, I feel like that. No, see, the segments wouldn't need this. They would just, it would just. Well, dragons also wouldn't need a seed. You would just generate a new dragon, and it would just, a dragon would just be a list of segments. And then I guess segment would just like. It would just be like this. So then using the random number generator, you can generate that, and so then you would generate like a dragon. I guess they wouldn't be dragon at that point. They'd be dragon like scaffolds or something. But again, it's just getting to naming semantics. And so it would generate like a head, and then using the random seed, it would start with a head. It would then work its way down, like the body going like, and then maybe you would do something like it statistically generates the probabilities of things, like the length of the dragon is like it generates a neck piece, a neck piece, a neck piece, and then for each subsequent piece it checks the odds of a body segment spawning decreases, and the odds of a leg segment spawning. And so so let's go with a dragon. We're gonna go like impl. Maybe we should move this in its own mod, into its own module. Okay. Dragon. Alright. Why has it got a capital D? This breaks everything always. No, don't do that. It breaks Rust Analyzer when you do that. Alright. So, we probably want to include rand as one of our crates, if we can do anything random. What do you mean? This is correct. Why are you complaining? What is the bet that when I click this, it's going to try and generate a dragon module without capital? Okay, nope. The Rust Analyzer is just doing weird shit. Impl dragon. fn new. This will take in our seed. It's going to be a U64, and we'll return a dragon. Okay. The first thing we're going to do is go like let new RNG. RNG is going to equal a use rand RNG. Wait, what? Unable to... Okay, what are you bitching about? I don't... Why does the Rust analyzer break like this? What the fuck? It's like it's RNG, isn't it? Fuck, I don't know what's going on. Alright. Rand. Alright, you need to stop. Shush, stop erroring. Why do you say insert module dragon? The fuck are you on about? Yeah. Okay, I don't know what the fuck's going on. It's all broken. Okay, and then you're gonna return. So first off, we need to go like let new seg it's equal, and it's gonna be like a vec that's just gonna be a segment head. So all dragons are just a head. And then we return dragon with segments. Alright. So RNG is going to be rand RNGs maybe? OS RNG, STD RNG, thread RNG. From seed. Okay. Mismatch. Okay, no. Seed from set. Use the PCG32 to generate any. Go move. PNG output function. Okay. So we generate our seed. We generate our first segment. And then we go like well, there was a crate that I wanted to use. Like I was using I'm using it in my hex game. I just feel like I steal everything from my hex game. It's great. Rand. Are we in the hex game? We are in the hex game. It's not. It must be inside our maybe our hex plugin. And dist. It's in our waveform collapse plugin. Rand dist uses like it gives you access to a whole bunch of different random number generators. So we're going to use rand dist Then I have to work out what type of random noise I want. Because with like random noise, you can get like some that are confined to a range, some that will theoretically be infinite. Because that's the other thing is we kind of like don't want it to be completely unhinged. That like in theory you could generate a dragon that's 1,000,000 links long. Even if like that's astronomically small, because the idea is to 3D print them, so there's still a minimum and maximum number of joins that it can have. What I want is something that's like normal distribution, really. Something that statistically, like, it'll generate numbers between 0 and whatnot. Maybe we could say all dragons are X segments long. No, we want to say... What about all dragons are like this long plus or minus this percent? So that would be like let len equal rng dot gen range from like it needs to be look, I don't know. I'm just gonna go grab one of these dragons that I have 3D printed and like count how many segments it has. Actually, I'll just do it on this picture that I have of one. How many segments are you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay, 30 segments. So what we could do is maybe something like gen range 25 to 35. Okay, and then we're going to say like you're a vector with capacity len. Okay, then we want to say segments dot push segment head. Okay. Then we want to be like let num leg pairs, and this is going to be like, you know, just a rng dot gen range from 0 to dot dot oh right, you need to be inclusive. So I guess like 0 to 4 inclusively, so like 5 variations in leg length. The issue with that is we don't want to use the random thing. We want to go... Are you done? Okay. See, the issue is I don't remember what any of these ones are. Geometric beta, binomial. Is it binomial? Binomial distribution. Binomial calculator. Oop, calculator. I think it's binomial. N is 4. P is 0.3. 0.4. And 0.5. Yeah, that's what we want. So, just so that you guys can see what I'm doing, Here is a binomial. So the way the binomial works, at least from my understanding, is you specify how many values it can pick, and then the probability of getting, I guess, the middle value. So if I did like 1,000 values, the probability of 50% in the middle means that like it's basically impossible anything else. Let's go with like 10 then. So basically what it's saying is the odds of you rolling a 0 are basically non-existent. There's a 1% chance you'll roll a 1 and a 25% chance you'll roll a 5, or 24.6. So the idea being that if I say, hey, roll, no, 4, anywhere from 1 to 4, there's a 37% chance you'll have 2 pairs of legs. There's a 25% chance you'll have 1 pair of legs, and a 25% chance you'll have 3 pairs of legs, and like a 6% chance you'll have 1 or 4 sets of legs. The idea here being that I want dragons to primarily have 2 sets of legs, but occasionally, which I kind of wish you could flip that, I want 0 and 4 sets of legs, I guess, to be more common than 1 and 3. But I guess the way you do that is you just set up an array, like so. And we go, okay, so we're going to go that binum equal ran just binumeral new. Okay, and so, wait. No, we don't want a binumeral. The method is accurate for any. No, not binumeral. Binumeral. Yeah. Okay. No. And then we want an n of 4 and a p of 0.5. And then we just want to like unwrap. Alright. And then we want to be like binum.sample. No. How do I sample you? You've got something. No, yeah. Converts x to an integer, panicking on overflow. No. Somewhere in here. How do I sample you? Unwrap. Sample. Yeah. Dot sample. Dot sample. And then we give you a random. We give you the random access to the RNG. Right. Sample. Okay. I think I want you to add binumeral. No, it's gen range. Thank you. Okay, so with that, we have the number of pairs of legs, but in reality, we want to say const num legs, which is going to be an array of u8s, maybe u8s by 5, and it's going to equal, since statistically the most likely number to roll, at least likely number to roll, so we're going to say 1, 1, 0, 2, 4, 3. So what that translates to is, because we concluded that the odds of getting 0 and 4 are the lowest possible numbers, which would be this position, and I want that to be 1 and 3 basically. Just because I feel like it'd be weird to have a 3-legged dragon set. Maybe not though. But I do want 0-legged dragons to be more common. Maybe it's just a 3 that I don't want. There is another type of one that like makes it more likely and it like tapers down. Let's go looking through use friend distribution. It's not logarithmic. Gaussian, normal. But Bernoulli error? It's not logarithmic, but it is something like that. Derivative exp exponential distribution. That would probably be the one. Except I don't think exponential distributions have an end. Distribution calculator. And also the issue is that exponential distributions don't convert to a fixed x. X equals 0. X is 5. Does 5 make it steeper? Yes, it does. The thing is we want to go like 25. Well, what it would do if I said 5 is that it basically says, so I'm assuming it stops at 1. Like, how would an exponential get? But it basically says that there's a 20% chance you get a 2. Basically the way it works is it's significantly more likely you'll get a 1 lambda x exponential. I think that's how it works. One of the lambda and 2 lambda. Man, shows it's been too long since I did math. So in theory, an exponential one would probably be better because it would mean that like 2-legged dragons are really common. 4-legged dragons extremely rare. The issue is like I don't know about like these sorts of random numbers if they have rules like some will never get below 1, some will never get above certain numbers. But things like a normal distribution, which I thought was like confined to a certain range, turns out no, it's just that the odds of it being outside of that range are just so incredibly small that it may as well be. But that doesn't mean that if you've got a normal distribution between -1 and 1, you won't occasionally get a 2. It just means that it's very unlikely. Anyway, so we'll binomially sample this, but instead of just binarily sampling it like that, we're going to say num legs. Just index into that. Right, so you need to sample a U size. Yes. Sample, like I specified in sample, the R is RNG. Wait, you always return a U size. Then what the fuck's your problem? Oh, as U size. No. Okay, as U size. So that basically distributes to, we'll pick a random number of legs. If the issue then becomes a number of legs. So we need to match the number of legs. We need to say, like, if you get 0 legs, then just run this. For in len -2 or 0, I guess 0 dot len -2. So the way this is going to work is we're basically going to say segment dot push segment body, and then segments dot push segments dot segment tail. Alright, anyway, with that I'm going to end the stream for today because I can hear people arriving outside. So thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time.